Hey guys, this weekend I'm going to be working on something a little bit different. This is going to be at least 2 videos, maybe 3, but this one's just going to be short. It's going to be explaining what I'm doing. So this is a cassette deck that I found in the junkyard about 2 years ago, and it worked when I got it. I didn't play many tapes on it. I had an adapter at that point because I hadn't started my collection really. I had a few tapes, but I didn't really listen to them all that often. But it worked. And what I used it for is a aftermarket stereo for this car. I just had it mounted on the floor on a board. It looked tacky as shit. And I was actually going to be building a little wooden box for it with carpet on it so it would look a little bit more professional. And then I went and tried to listen to some music, and it wasn't playing a tape. So then I tried putting my cassette adapter in, and it played it for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then spit it back out and wouldn't play it. And when I tried to put it back in, it just wouldn't play. It wouldn't read it. So I've got it out on the bench here, and I'm actually going to replace the deck itself. I'm going to put in an aftermarket under dash standalone tape deck, so it'll look a lot more presentable than just a wooden box on the floor. And that way I won't have to bypass all the stereo and actual radio receptions or anything like that. It'll just be a cassette player. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take it apart and find out why it's not playing tapes, and then I'm going to repair it, and I'm going to keep it until I have a car that I need to put a aftermarket tape deck into. So what I've got going on here is this is a looks like a Jensen auto reverse deck. There's the model number right there. But I'm not going to bother reading it because I don't think people care. And like I said, I got it from a junkyard. It was in an old Dodge truck, and it worked for a year and a half before I stopped driving the car. And here's what I got going on. So I've got it hooked up, and as you can see, it's not hooked up to an antenna, so it's not going to get reception, but the radio side works, or at least it makes noise. Then, stick a tape in, and it's just humming. It's making the hum that it makes when you have a tape in the deck. And if you listen to the deck itself, you'll hear that it's not spinning the reels. It's not moving the tape. The fast forward and rewind buttons don't really seem to do anything. It makes noise, but it won't actually play the tape. So I suspect, and I'm not, any kind of proficient at these tape decks, I just know the basic bit. I suspect that either the belt is worn out and it's not spinning the reels, or the clutch itself for the reels, they work on a clutch system. So basically, inside this machine, there are 2 reels, right, to spin the cassette, and there's going to be an idler reel and a, I guess you could call it power reel. And what it's going to do is one of them is going to pull the tape and send it through, and the other one is just going to spin the same speed as the main one. And how that works is there's a clutch underneath your main reel here that is going to start playing the tape at a certain speed, and then it's going to, based on how fast the idler reel spins, it's going to figure out how fast it should spin the main reel. And the way that it slows it down or speeds it up is with a clutch. And with a, when you stick your tape in, stick it in there, and you play it. Alrighty then. And you put it in like fast forward mode. Fast forward mode spins that at full speed. The clutch isn't being used at all. But when you're actually playing the tape, it's sort of sensing, I suppose you could say, how fast it's supposed to spin that clutch. And most tape decks, old ones anyway, are only meant to that clutch max slippage is only meant to spin a 50-minute, sometimes 60-minute tape, and this is a 60-minute tape. It's slightly longer than a standard 50-minute tape, but basically the shorter the tape, the better it is for the machine. The longer the tape, the worse it is for the machine because it's going to slip the clutch more and wear it out. So that's basically the gist of how that works, and what I think I'm dealing with is either the clutch is completely worn out and it just won't play at all, or the band is worn out and it's slipping and it won't spin the both the reels at the same time. And what's going to happen is if the main one tries to spin and the idler isn't spinning at all, it's not going to know how long to play the tape, and it's just going to not play. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take this tape deck apart, and I will start recording my next video once it is.